Hello everyone, Mike and Steven here from Yugioh Meta Knights, and we got a new video coming your way. As you see, I'm still drinking from yesterday's Firewall Dragon video, and
I made it through Ligma.
Steven's here today, so... What are we doing today, Steven?
We were discussing the set, basically a set analysis of Shadows in Valhalla and OTS Pack 8, which I'm actually very hyped for myself.
I'm kind of excited about a few things. We'll get into that. Obviously, there's a few reprints. Everybody's kind of been diving into this, but we're just going to talk about it because that's what we do. I'm going to open with Valkyrie. Valkyrie has a few cool cards. Now, they all have like these different levels. They're kind of clunky, it seems. Like, obviously, I haven't play tested them or anything. They kind of like banish things, recover things, and kind of just gain general effects from that. There's one, it's Estes or Erstes? Erst. He like gains attack from the banish and everything. Essentially it's pretty cool, and they have a spell, a little engine that revolves around the whole archetype.
I think they're just going to be more of a casual deck, not going to make any meta impact.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna like. Nobody's gonna really take them, even probably to locals. People might play test them with their friends and whatnot until they get new support. There is potential. Like there's the obvious like roll the dice and you get one and it OTKs, but that's not gonna be a very common thing. I don't think it's gonna be something competitive. We'll skip through that. Other archetypes, outer. Don't even need to really talk about it, do we?
The set showing up now, or the archetype showing up now, is kind of irrelevant. They would have been good 4 or 5 years ago when the Exceeds were actually good.
The problem with them is like they're being introduced, and that's cool. Like if we would have had it a while ago, they may have made somewhat of an impact, and then just now been.
I mean, they're still good, but not good enough to make a whole deck based off of them. You could splash in maybe Azathoth or something. Or I'm sorry, that name is retarded. But the outer and Entity are not really good unless you want to splash into an extra deck that you have extra slots in. But besides that, they're not really useful.
I think that also goes for Ninja. They did get a link, and that's cool. I know there's a few people really hyped about it, and they definitely, like, they're going to have some casual play and fun with your friends, but still...
I do see them being a sleeper deck at some point. If certain cards are banned in the next ban list, which we are patiently waiting for.
So we have the fun part, Invocation.
I am totally happy with this being reprinted. The entire engine basically reprinted, while Alistair got a bump in rarity. We got the Link monster, which seems to be hard to get a hold of for some reason. The Invoked engine is very splashable too. And Mech Knights run it pretty well. And there's other cards like Ice Spell that work with it, the Wind Witch engine.
I'll wait until these re-release, and I got a deck profile for you guys. It's gonna come. Invoked is amazing.
I've yet to beat it. That's all I gotta say.
No, I am no way and no how like super competitive, but it's ugly. But so Shaddoll's are getting reprinted. Just two. Shaddoll Fusion, which is awesome because we get a secret version of the Super that we had always wanted, which is really neat because Shaddoll Fusion is a really cool card because like you bring up the old school polymerization idea of like gaining this big powerful monster because you have access through these little fodder cards in your hand. However, it allows you to special summon from your extra deck when your opponent controls a monster from their extra deck, which is really nice in this format. Shaddolls have always kind of been right there. It's just the fact that Construct has been gone. It hasn't really tempted anybody to play it. Like, Winda alone is a really good card, and it's being reprinted as well, which is great. The fact that Shaddoll construct is gone is the real problem why Shaddolls haven't seen play. But I really feel as if this is maybe just like a hint, and it could be like a bias of wishes of mine, because Shaddoll is my absolute favorite deck. Regardless, I have played Shaddolls since day one. They were my absolute favorite. I remember the second they were released, I bought every single one that I could. It just had some super fun play style. And now that they're doing Shaddoll Fusion and Winda, it kind of hints towards that, and I really hope that that's the aspect. Regardless, they're more accessible cards. Shaddoll Fusion went down in price a little bit, which is good. I think it's just a healthy addition to the game, and I really hope that that whole construct thing happens, because that's going to bring some players who just didn't feel the need to be super competitive now, who were, back into the game.
I mean, the OCG ban list has contract, I believe that too, right? I don't see why we shouldn't get it back.
At least at 1, you know. I mean, they could throw us a whole curveball and bring it back to 3, and that'd be great.
I
And
doubt
it really,
that happens.
I doubt it happens too, but it really wouldn't do a whole lot to the meta, because like,
Oh, it also depends on how the meta shifts with the current ban list too.
that is true. We're gonna shut up about that, because when Construct releases, that's all I'm gonna talk about, and we'll skip that for another day.
This guy enjoys mermails.
I'm very happy about Megalo being reprinted. You know, alongside Teus and Lead, it's a good addition to the game as having reprints easily accessible.
Especially since they're in the foreseeable future going to be a mermail link monster, which I do not remember the name of at the current moment.
Abyssglacia.
Yeah, I mean, we did see a top with a mermail second light build.
Interesting build too.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of second light because it restricts other spells and traps in your decks.
Which doesn't. The only issue I see with that is that Mermail Abyss Megalo, when you play him, it's nice to search out the simple, you know, little scale and everything. And I really like playing one of each, because it's very fun in this format to just be able to try to avoid a certain move from anybody. And Sekka's Light, it's nice with the like whole nimble engine, but I also see a lack of true power in that deck. You do get a lot of draw power, don't get me wrong, but as a Mermail player myself, like, I don't see the true power of it. The dude did really good, don't get me wrong, that dude knew that deck very, very good.
Yes.
But I just didn't see the synergy in it myself when I had played it. He had found something that he did correctly, and I don't think I can match that. But Megalo, Teus, and Lead, don't even need to discuss more. They're fantastic.
Not to mention, since Megalo was like a $10 common.
He was 16 for a while, which was stupid. That's why that's what I bought him at, and now he's gonna be a $5 super rare. We are finally getting the easily accessible fucking cat. I'm gonna cut that out. Get your ass down.
Cats on a fish tank are not a good idea.
So with some single cards, it's very nice. We finally get the super rare version of everything we've been asking for. As Japan had it rare in the OCG, we are finally getting Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Many are mad.
I'm just torn about it because I don't like buying single cards for high prices. I finally got Ash Blossom as the ultra rare. Now I finally get Ash Blossom. They announced a super rare reprint, which I'm not a fan of super rares. I'm a rarity whore. I'm not afraid of it. I like ultra, secret, ghost, ultimates especially, but I mean, it's good that it's accessible to more players now. It's more of a budget-worthy card. It seems it's not short printed either. It's 1 or 2 basically every box. And from what I've seen from openings from other people and everything. But I think it's good that it got reprinted. I'm just not happy about it, personally.
Well, I mean, you kind of wanted that like aspect of like having all the secret rares and actually feeling like, you know, you worked hard to obtain that actual effect. And that's one thing that a lot of people overlook, is that the expensive cards, yes, sometimes it's absurd, but when you resolve that effect, there's something true about the hard effort and work that you had put into getting that card that comes along entirely with resolving that effect and shutting down your opponent to win you that game.
Yeah.
There's something very important about that. But moving on from Ash, little fucking lollipop girl. Golden Bamboo Sword.
Good combo with his old, it's recycle, equip spells, Exodia builds. Also seen it in Sky Striker engines or Sky Striker pure builds, which is more easy to get spells in a graveyard with Broken Bamboo Sword. And it gave you draw power on top of having draw power with Engage, which is a bit ridiculous. I watched this guy draw about 15 cards in one turn.
I think it's enough. Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. Moving on, Twin Twister.
Which is going to be great to synergize with the danger cards because their effects activate upon being discarded. So you're basically getting a free draw pop for whichever one you discard, on top of destroying 2 spell cards on the field or trap cards.
Twin Twister reprint is really nice.
Especially being secret.
Secret rare, that's what we needed. Why Super for so long? I bought it, unfortunately, for $12 when it was a very big thing in 2015. Yeah, 2015. And I kind of regret that now, but I couldn't read for a minute. I'm so drunk. So another card that had a lot of value is being reprinted, which is Ice Bell. And the great thing about that is I don't have to spend $15 upwards of $20 for a single fucking card anymore. It's one of my absolute favorites. I try to fit Wind Witch into any deck that I can that is fluent enough or has enough synergy. Ice Bell is going to be a fantastic addition to, the set, obviously. And then we're going to go on to
The Space Dildo, which I don't understand why it was reprinted. I guess just because of the E-Hero support they're coming out with in later months. And
Space Dildo!
And the fusion monsters they put in here, like Trinity, Magma Neos, Flame Scarab. It's not one of the fusion, but Neospatians. Some reason we're getting a lot of support. But I don't see the point of reprinting Neos. I just don't understand.
Alright.
It's probably, you could put something else as a super rare in that day. There's just stupidity in that.
Next cards. Seraphinite. So with Brilliant Fusion, it was actually a combination of several cards that were
The
a little
Predaplan
rather
engine.
expensive.
Predaplan was the cheapest part of it, of course, but you got to think Brilliant Fusion was the 99% chance to get it out if you were not playing Gym Night FTK, which, I mean, I believe you didn't use Seraphinite in there at all. Very seldomly. It was mostly used in decks, 60 card decks mainly, or Light Swarm based or Graveyard based decks.
Moving on. High Speed Chinbara.
Chinbara, it was an overly expensive card for no reason.
So, Akashic Magician. Good reprint.
Generic Link 2.
Just needed it.
Yeah. I mean, the ability to bounce back from whatever it's pointing to is good. If your opponent's not paying attention to zones, you could bounce back one of their key monsters, a boss monster.
So that's pretty much all that is worthy of mentioning in Shadows in Valhalla. There's some pretty neat cards. Like I said, there's some good support. Really, the reprints are what's most valuable in this set. So let's talk about OTS 8. All we really need to talk about...
The ultimate rares, Sky Striker Ace Kagari, Scapegoat, and Drone Lockbird. Now the thing is, which one's going to be the higher rarity or more sought after?
The ultimate rares are all the hype right now. There's a few cards that are nice to be printed. We don't really need to mention the super rares.
Broken Bamboo Sword, which kind of predictable, seeing Golden Bamboo Sword get reprinted, and Underclock Taker getting its super rare.
That's a really good addition because the common was just.
That's a good link monster.
We literally have like 76 of them right now, but having a super is very nice.
But with the ultimate rare Kagari now, I'm honestly surprised they reprinted a monster that came out basically 2-3 sets ago as an ultimate rare.
Really, I think it deserves its spot. It deserves its spot so much that I hate it to the absolute maximum. All I talk about is how I love kaijuing it. Like, that's the best part.
And to anybody that's a fan of Elemental Hero Neos, I'm sorry, but I just do not like the artwork of that card. I just do think it looks like a space dildo.
Like and subscribe.